I think the biggest issue with a lot of people is that you put so much time into something, especially like a sport, you're afraid that you can't put that same work ethic into something else. How do you balance your dream versus your reality? And how far do you stretch your dream of trying to achieve your dream to where you get hit with that reality and you feel like, okay, I don't think this is going to happen. I need to pivot. I need to change what I need to do.
That's a great question, and there's a couple things I want to touch base on. So, as far as like, and it's something that we touched base on a long time ago. So I think particularly for us too, as a disclaimer, one of the many, and I don't want to speak for you, but I know we've had conversations about it in the past. Is there was an injury that happened that kind of gave us that pause of like, all right, like we have to start shifting our focus to thinking life outside of ball. And
Mhm.
what in terms of the balance in the dream reality, I don't want to go into touching on something that we already touched on because I want people to really listen to that whole episode and how we break it down. But the fact of the matter is like you said, one of the key words that you said in that is opportunity, right? It's not always just skill, and 9 times out of 10 it's not even just skill. There's super talented people I know that could be in the league just based off skill. Some of it's just character, sometimes it's ethics, sometimes it's just you not being in the face of the people that's making the decisions, right, whether that's an agent that's not reaching out, whether that's just pure luck, you know what I'm saying? And there's so many limited roster spots, there's so many factors that go into that. So in terms of the dream and reality, I will say this: the fact of the matter is that there's great things that's happening for those people that cannot get into these professional leagues. Why I say that is because now guess what's happening? USFL is happening, the XFL is happening, right? So there's more opportunity for you to be able to play professional football for this instance. And now people are going overseas to play football. We have a few friends that went over and played professionally over there in Europe. So my thing of it is that there has to be some type of sit down that you have, right? And I'm not sitting here to say if that's what you want to do, make sure you all in on it, right? There's no half stepping when you want to be great, especially at the pro level, right? If you know that you're underdog and you know you coming from a situation where you might not have been exposed at a greater clip, you know you're gonna have to do 3 times as much work as the other person just to even get the opportunity. It's almost like being overqualified to be qualified. That's how you got to operate. And so my thing of it is that you have to sit down and give it your all, whatever in that plan, whatever you got to do, execute it. But at some point, you have to sit here and say, this is the reality of my situation, right? If it's not working, what other areas can I do this? Can I be a coach? Can I give to the kids? Can I still do that and still train? Because it might be a call. My thing of it is just to have a plan, just to have an execution, to have a purpose outside of the ball, because I know that crash that people have if they don't get that opportunity. And I know people, and this will be my last point on it, it's never personal, right? It's not like you're not deserving of this. It's not a shot at your character. It's not a shot of, did I not work hard enough? Did I not do anything? And most of the time, it has nothing to do with that. It's just pure luck. Sometimes it's pure opportunity. Sometimes it's agent. Sometimes it's you. Sometimes it's just us too much that goes into it. So I don't ever want people to feel like it's a personal shot at you for you to not get certain opportunities. And that's my kind of conclusion as far as that piece. Because I can go on and on about the athlete identity crisis, but I want people to kind of check that out. But that's kind of just the overall summary of just know who you are outside of the ball. And if it comes, kind of that same grind, but just know I got to have something that's kind of fueling the fire as I know I might have to shift on.
I'll try my best not to make it specifically sports because not everyone plays sports, so maybe not everyone understands how
Right.
it all works.
Right.
What I'll say is that the simple answer is you have to be practical, right? But
Mm-hmm.
what does that mean? And then everyone has their own opinion or definition of what practical really means. So to break it down, it's that I don't. I would never say it's a good idea to only have one plan. You should have more than one plan, and you should have more than one plan that will span in the different areas. Because with
Right.
that, it'd be very hard for you to fail in general, right?
Right.
Any kid, I don't care who it was, at some point you wanted to play professional if you were in that sport.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't matter what you were doing. Everyone had it. All right. We'll just call it from what it is. Everyone had it. But slowly and slowly, like you said, you go through life and you realize that maybe that's not for you. And that's okay. I think the biggest issue with a lot of people is that you put so much time into something, especially like a sport, you're afraid that you can't put that same work ethic into something else. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
a unicorn. Like that was the only thing you could have been good at. That was the only thing you could have worked that hard for type of mentality.
Right.
And what I'll say is that working in reverse is that now that I know that I'm able to do that because I did that to a sport, what's stopping me from putting that same work into anything else that I want to do? And essentially that's how you beat the identity crisis, is that at some point you realize all the hard work that I put into this sport, if I just put that same energy into something else or into a group of other things, I'll be just as successful, if not better, because there's less variables about it. You know,
Mm-hmm.
you see a lot of these athletes, they're done being athletes and then they go on, they kill corporate America. You know, they
Yeah.
go on and they kill
Yep.
entrepreneurship. They start their own
Yep.
businesses and stuff. And you'll look at them when they played, they're like, I mean, you know, he was good, but he wasn't great. Like he wasn't anything crazy. But that same mindset and that same work ethic, they were able to carry over. And then they found out that it's actually a lot easier to work hard in this other area than in here, where it's like you can be canceled out if you're not tall enough. You can be
Right.
canceled out if you didn't go to this certain school and you didn't go and have this certain work program or workout program and such. So um, when it comes to dreams versus reality, you have to be realistic with yourself. And one thing I dislike, and that's the word we'll use, is dislike,
Right.
is when someone doesn't put in any type of work or effort but expects results. That is not how that works at all.
At all.
And that's part of reality. That's how life works. I'm sorry. It doesn't matter. Like some people, maybe they get that lucky, but those are some people. I wouldn't work off of that. If you don't devote yourself to work hard, if you don't devote yourself to set up goals and to push yourself, I don't care what the goal is. I'm very skeptic that you're going to achieve it. And that's just the honest truth. You have to understand that reality and accept it. And then
Yep.
when you do that, you build off of it for wherever you'd like to do outside of sports. This isn't a sports conversation. It's just a life conversation. Whatever
Right.
you want to do, whatever dreams that you have, I can't tell you you can't do it. I really can't. I don't know. You know, you never know. But what I can say is if you're not putting in that work ethic, like if you're just talking, but you're not working harder than you're talking, then I don't even have to see what you're doing. I'm going to be skeptic that you're going to be able to do it just because off of that alone. So,
One of the things that a full circle moment that just came to me was the one thing I will say about America, the one thing I will say even about the world, just not even America, is no matter what, however you feel about it, if you are a hard worker, not a person that work hard, a hard worker, those are two different things, right?
mm-hmm,
There's a lot of people that can work hard. I'm talking about a hard worker. If you are a hard worker, at some point you will be rewarded for your hard work. I don't. That's just the nature of life. I don't care what you're doing. That's football. That's entrepreneurship. That's corporate America. That's your body goals. That's eating right. Whatever the case may be, whatever you attack and you stay consistent, you make a plan, you execute it. It's always a reward in that. So I will say that in terms of, like you said, putting in that work. And just to close out this thing is the thing of it is like it's like I said, the one thing I want to reiterate is it's never personal. Like it's not an attack on you just because that opportunity didn't fall through for you. For example, I'll give y'all a real life example of what something that happened to me, bro. So a couple weeks before, you remember a couple months ago, I was trying to figure out where I was going to school. I was stressing me out. I'm doing this podcast. I'm going to
yep,
work. Like, bro, I'm like, I don't know where I'm going to school. How am I going to plan for something? I don't even know if I'm moving. Am I going to stand? Like, you know what I'm saying? All these jumbled thoughts. And you remember that job opportunity that came up. I won't speak on it specifically where it was, but it was at a high ranking corporation. That job opportunity, I interviewed for it, bro. And one of the things I realized because of just the nature of where I was in over my head. And that probably wasn't a position for me, but it was a learning opportunity, and I really felt like, you know, if you, I don't know if you've ever been in a position where you feel like, and I'm adamant about being prepared. That was the first time I sat in something. I'm like, I'm not supposed to be here. Like that Magic Johnson meme, I'm
Yeah.
not gonna be here, bro. That's how I felt in there, bro. And I end up not getting a job. And I could have took that as a personal. Let me pause and not lie. At first, it felt personal when I didn't get it. Because at first I didn't even know where I was going to school. I'm like, this job didn't give me that. I don't know where I'm going to school. Like everything is falling apart. The world is crashing. I'm still human, so I go through these emotions. But my point of it is that it wasn't personal. It wasn't an attack on me because that wasn't just my lane. That wasn't designed for me. Nor did I put in the work in that arena to be doing what that person is, or that company was asking me for to do. And there was probably somebody that was better fit for that anyway. My point in saying that is to tie it all in together is that whatever you put in consistent work, you become better at it. And at the end of the day, one of the things I want to talk about too is the confidence that you get from that. The more times we put up out these episodes, the more times, like, it's like muscle memory, bro. I got more confidence able to speak in front of y'all. Y'all remember the first time we had these conversations, the first episode, my voice was cracking. How many times I tell BJ, stop, hey, bro, we got to run that back. Like whatever you consistently do over time, bro, you build a confidence. And you know where that confidence stems from? It just stems from the work you put in. That confidence stems from the work just every day, not the stuff you see on camera, not the stuff you Snapchat. And I'm talking about the day to day. I don't feel like doing it today, but I'm gonna go do it anyway. That's that work. When you don't feel like doing it, but you do it anyway, that's that real work. And that's how you get that confidence. And ultimately, over a time, it do get weary, but over time, like I said, you will get rewarded for your hard work.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, man, that was a mic drop right there. Pretty much. It's very hard to add on to that.